Welcome back to the best book ever. Today we will finish reading Ruth's story, witnessing the agreements for her redemption and the consequences. Will Boaz keep his promise? Let's find out. Ruth, chapter 4, the Message translation. Boaz went straight to the public square and took his place there. Before long, the close relative, the one mentioned earlier by Boaz, strolled by. "Step aside, old friend," said Boaz. "Take a seat." The man sat down. Boaz then gathered 10 of the town elders together and said, "Sit down here with us. We've got some business to take care of." And they sat down. Boaz then said to his relative, "The piece of property that belonged to our relative Elimelech is being sold by his widow Naomi, who has just returned from the country of Moab. I thought you ought to know about it. Buy it back if you want it. You can make it official in the presence of those sitting here and before the town elders. You have first redeemer rights. If you don't want it, tell me so I'll know where I stand. You're first in line to do this, and I'm next after you." He said, "I'll buy it." Then Boaz added, "You realize, don't you, that when you buy the field from Naomi, you also get Ruth the Moabite, the widow of our dead relative, along with the redeemer responsibility to have children with her to carry on the family inheritance?" Then the relative said, "Oh, I can't do that. I'd jeopardize my own family's inheritance. You go ahead and buy it. You can have my rights. I can't do it." In the olden times in Israel, this is how they handled official business regarding matters of property and inheritance. A man would take off his shoe and give it to the other person. This was the same as an official seal or personal signature in Israel. So, when Boaz's redeemer relative said, "Go ahead and buy it," he signed the deal by taking off his shoe. Boaz then addressed the elders and all the people in the town square that day. "You are witnesses today that I have bought from Naomi everything that belonged to Elimelech, Kilion, and Machlon, including responsibility for Ruth the foreigner, the widow of Machlon. I'll take her as my wife and keep the name of the deceased alive along with his inheritance. The memory and reputation of the deceased is not going to disappear out of this family or from his hometown. To all this you are witnesses this very day." All the people in the town square that day backed up the elders, said, "Yes, we are witnesses. May God make this woman who is coming into your household like Rachel and Leah, the 2 women who built the family of Israel. May God make you a pillar in Ephrathah and famous in Bethlehem. With the children God gives you from this young woman, may your family rival the family of Perez, the son Tamar bore to Judah." Boaz married Ruth. She became his wife. Boaz slept with her. By God's gracious gift, she conceived and had a son. The town women said to Naomi, "Blessed be God! He didn't leave you without family to carry on your line. May this baby grow up to be famous in Israel. He'll make you young again. He'll take care of you in old age. And this daughter-in-law who has brought him into the world and loves you so much, why, she's worth more to you than 7 sons." Naomi took the baby and held him in her arms, cuddling him, cooing over him, waiting on him hand and foot. The neighborhood women started calling him Naomi's baby boy, but his real name was Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse, and Jesse the father of David. This is the family tree of Perez. Perez had Hezron. Hezron had Ram. Ram had Aminadab. Aminadab had Nashon. Nashon had Salmon. Salmon had Boaz. Boaz had Obed. Obed had Jesse. And Jesse had David. In chapter 3, Ruth was not referred to as a Moabite, but in chapter 4, Boaz calls her a Moabite. This happens during the sale of Naomi's land, and always in connection with her status as the widow of a Jew. It's almost as if he's giving her the title Ruth, exiled daughter of Moab, widow of God. He was pointing out her legal right to call upon them as redeemers. The unnamed kinsman's response may surprise you. He wants the land, but not the widow. He's afraid that marrying Ruth could cause problems for his children when he dies. He's trying to make it easier for his family to obey the law by using a handy loophole. Meanwhile, Boaz has understood the spirit of the law and is willing to take Ruth as his wife for the sake of his relative, in obedience to the law and out of love for an honourable woman. It is Boaz who receives the blessing of the Redeemers and becomes the great-grandfather of King David. This story, the story of Ruth, is best read in one go, and that's just what we'll do next week. We will read the entire account, but without any extra comments from me at the end. I hope you enjoy it. Please remember to like, comment, and share as we spread the blessing of God's Word. I'll see you next time. God bless you.